a sponsor for all this? Because I'm really not trying to come out of pocket for all this bullshit. Oh, we're live? What's her name? Grimes? There's no way her and Elon Musk are swingers. They've got to be way too busy for that shit with, 7 businesses he has? Hey, Hamid Yaz here, and you're live and direct on Monkey Business, the newest, hottest show on the internet, bringing you the latest and top business headlines from around the world. However, this isn't a scripted show. There's no teleprompter. There is absolutely no team of genius writers that get paid some exorbitant amount of money to bring you the hottest jokes. This is all freestyle, straight off the cuff, right out of cuffs, depending on the weekend and how much alcohol was involved. But this is going to be something different that you guys are not really used to. Probably why? Because you're used to seeing people in nice, fancy blazers and suits and business attire and such, bringing you boring news in a boring delivery. But me, Hamid Yaz, I'm going to switch it up for you. However, on this first episode, because I want this to be a reference point as to not just who I am, where I come from, what I do, and so on, I want y'all to look at this as the OG episode, as the official introduction, because many of my OG followers already know my story. Many of you new followers, you don't. So this is a reference point, as I stated. Now, back in 2005, let's take it back about 15 years so you understand my history. Back in about 05, 06, obviously, YouTube came out. People were putting a bunch of bullshit videos on the internet, and it was like, oh, cool, you can do this, you can do that. It's very limited as far as the time frame of what you could put on and such. So that's when I started going around Austin, which I'm from, hanging with the rappers, the DJs, some of the bad boys of the city, the promoters, and so on, going around town, getting footage, getting content, posting it online, started getting really popular. Got so popular, I ended up getting probably 07, 08-ish. I started a TV show here in Austin, which was more of a variety type of comedy show. Keep in mind, this was before Instagram. This was before TikTok. This is before everybody was a comedian all of a sudden, right? So I started, getting stuff from the internet, putting it on TV, then getting stuff done on TV, putting it on the internet, vice versa. The buzz was growing, millions of views online. Everything was cool, go around downtown Austin, hey, and everybody knows you, right? And now people are probably saying, who's this bootleg, hydroxycut, slim, fast-looking DJ Khaled wannabe dollar store person? Well, I'm Hamid Yaz, and fast forward from about 2008, 2009 is when business owners started saying, hey, we kind of like the vibe that this guy has, depending on the business, obviously, as well. We like the vibe of this guy. Can you shoot a commercial for us? Now, keep in mind, I knew how to do the video aspect of everything, but I did not know the advertising part of it. I didn't know I could become an advertising agency and get 15% off of the deals I hooked up with, whether it was a MS Radio, Clear Channel, or obviously with video, with those type of commercials. It was a Grande at the time. Time Warner Cable was another one. AT&T hadn't really come out yet, or hadn't merged, or whatever they ended up doing yet. So one thing led to another. I started doing that, became an agency, and then I realized a lot of small businesses actually require a lot of things that they're overlooking. So I started bringing someone on board for the bookkeeping. I brought someone on board to do computer repair, networking, those type of issues. Someone for graphic design and photography. And I, of course, was doing the marketing and video production. Now, I was, keep in mind, more really new to all of this. This was now 10, 11 years ago. Everything was going cool. However, your average business owner, especially in Austin, Texas, and obviously depending on the city you're from, They did not understand not just the benefits of digital video being YouTube, but they did not understand that that was the future. They were so stuck on put it on television. If the telephone rings, that means it's working. And I know this because I was basically the full-time marketing director for a rim shop here in Austin, Texas. And that's how the owner, God rest his soul, he's in heaven now. He's swinging on choppers out there, swinging on 84s and chopping on blades, up there in heaven right now. But that was his mentality. His mentality was, if the phone rings as soon as that commercial runs, I know it's working. Believe it or not, that's what he was thinking. Now, I started realizing that they weren't really up to speed as far as where this whole digital trend was going, because it wasn't really a trend. It was now the new norm, which obviously now everything around us is pretty much video. And then we're getting into augmented and so on. But bringing it back to this show, I kind of put that on the back burner because I wasn't making the money that I wanted. It was more some of the others around me making the money. So I kind of, we'll say I folded that one on my own. And in 2015, I launched a dessert business. I said, okay, I learned about business, looking at other people's businesses, educated myself. I knew video, I knew this, I knew that. So I put all of that together, started a dessert business here from Austin, Texas called Stumpy's. If you look on Instagram, and I left everything up for archives, by the way, Stumpy's 512 as a reference point. Go look it up. You'll see how cool call centers, food trucks, deals with the schools, pop-up shops, all kinds of catering, selling to other cities. It was really cool. So I learned how to sell, learned how to be an actual entrepreneur, taking one thing and bringing in money 6 or 7 different ways. Now, of course, that right there led to now doing workshops, presentations, television appearances, and so on. Now, all of that is not new to me because, yes, going back 10 years prior, 7 years prior to that, I was the guy already with my own television show. Yes, I was the guy doing a food stamp, Lone Star card episode, having people call in and tell me about their welfare stories. I was the guy that was dressed up as Bin Laden doing interviews right in front of the state capital of Texas, Republican state. I was doing that. Yes, I was the guy with the Dookie Doug, the little piece of poop that would jump around when the owners aren't home, and he hosted his own live call-in television show. Taliban Sam was another one. Dr. Ranji Patel was one of my favorite ones. So production and all of this is nothing new to me. But over the past year, obviously 2020 has been such a crazy year for all of us. And what I wanted to do was incorporate my old school love for comedy with everything that I'm doing now, business related, and voila, could you imagine? There's actually a term called business comedy. Now, most of us are pretty much aware that most business news, everyone is in their nice blazer, everyone is looking sharp, it's all scripted, it's all pretty boring, they talk like this, and Tesla, the stock with Tesla, and blah, blah, blah. Shut the hell up. People are tired of hearing that, but they've been so conditioned to hearing it like that. That's what they're so used to. Think about it. Imagine being married for 25 years. They've been doing the same thing for 25 years, so to them it's totally normal. But once you get that side chick that you met at the gas station, that's when, oh my God, I feel 23 again. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, you guys get where I'm getting at. That's why this show, the hottest news headlines of the week, every week, new episode every week, I'm switching it up, no script, no teleprompter, right off the cuff, no rehearsal. It's just, come on, what are the headlines? Boom, and we're taking a crack at it right there. And if you're a crackhead, you can watch this too. Anyways, this is the first episode, by the way, obviously, but once again, this is a reference point. This is the initial one that I can, if someone said, man, who the hell is this guy? How do we? When you're watching this episode, you will understand why, and I'm going to use it as reference. Anyways, you heard it here first. every week. Monkey Business with Hamid Yaz. Make sure to, whether it's LinkedIn, it's YouTube, it's Instagram, it's TikTok, it's Facebook, Hamid Yaz, look me up. Follow, educate yourself also on business, on some of the old school interviews I've done, really fantastic interviews, some of the talks, tidbits of some of the workshops. But yes, this show is the one to push. You're watching Monkey Business with Hamid Yaz.